Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I know some of you are still recovering from the turkey and the ham business for Thanksgiving here in the US. Our guest today is not from the US, though. She'll tell us where she's from. And as usual, let's go ahead and dance off Wednesdays. We start with just dancing those juju, whether it's good or bad. We're going to make it good. Welcome to Level Up Academy podcast. This is your host, Dr. Leland. Let's dance it off, guys. Are you a curious student, eager to learn new skills and make your mark in the world? Or are you a professional seeking to advance your career and unlock your full potential? You need to be equipped with effective soft skills like communication, problem solving, teamwork, and more. The Level Up Academy by Doc Leland bridges the gap between education and employment through transferable skills training. Get the soft skills you need to be more effective at work. of Wednesday. Dance all those bad vibes, those worries, spend an hour talking to us. Yeah, just dance it off, people. Even if you're at work, keep your head bobbing. I know some of you listeners at work and don't on it. It's okay too. If Lincoln is all doing it's okay too. Get a good energy, people. Happy Wednesday. We are on the mid-week of the week. Yes, we're in the middle of the week. That's what I meant to say. I have to go reflect on that. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Guess who is my guest today? Let me take a look her beautiful self if she is ready. So look, really quickly. Dun, 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 dun. That is Sam. Are you guys ready for Sam? Do you guys know who she is? You're like, huh? Who's Sam? Exactly. That's what I do in this segment. By the way, before I bring Sam in, I just want you guys to know that my dear sister Susanna Dawn has her book number 2. Search of the Armor of God is coming already. Or no, I should say coming. It's already on Amazon, but the book number 2 is coming soon. So make sure you guys on the lookout. And why do I say that's because we all need support and we really do love our community. I love you guys. Even Team Replay, I love you guys. I know we're all busy. And Hounds of Business, Mike Asher Branner, where are you, bro? Where are you? Right? But if you guys are curious about Hounds of Business, ask me. Let me know. Let me introduce you to a most amazing group of people on LinkedIn that I know. And yeah, that's what we're doing. We are connecting you with the right people. Sometimes it doesn't give you good energy. It's okay. Just move on, right? We're not for everybody. That's what I always say. Another thing is I became a StreamYard insider. So if you notice that I have a StreamYard logo instead of my logo, it's because I just became a StreamYard insider. It's not just being an affiliate anymore. It's like a StreamYard stuff going on in here. I love their platform. Okay, StreamYard, if you're watching, hashtag StreamYard. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity to see what's the inside look of StreamYard, how you guys function, what are the new things that you guys are doing. There's some amazing content creators in there. I was like, whoa, great following. And I am happy that I could add and help to your community whenever I can. Also, tomorrow, I want to tell you guys before I forget. Um, every Wednesday is introducing my community member day. And some of you are asking to be in there. There is, if you go to Lua by docleland.com, click on podcast. It's LUA by BY, docleland.com, DOCLEYLAND.com. Click on podcast. Down below it, there's an application. Okay, an application form for you to be on my podcast. If you want to be on the podcast, this is free every Wednesday. You can go ahead and send your application, and I am looking at it. It does take about 3 months to get in here, unless I know you. Like we have coffee chats and you've been on my projects, then you kind of get a shortcut line. But it takes about 3 to 4 months to process because this is live stream on YouTube and I'm growing my YouTube. Hello, my YouTube people, 7,000 of you. I love you guys. Our goal is to hit 20,000 by next year, guys, by end of next year. So that's our goal. Hopefully, will be more. Um, Basically, Wednesdays are free for everyone because I want you guys to know my global community of who are the people that are on my tribe, that are on my circle, that are on my peripherals, right? And I want you guys to know each and every one of them and what they do to level up the world through education. Education doesn't mean going to higher ed or professional development that you have to be in class. Education means all of us are going through our own life's journey. Imagine if I have a book of how to raise your children. Of course, it's not going to be the same because your children are different than mine. But at least the generalization aspect of how I raise my children, you could extrapolate some of those information and test it out if it works for your child, right? That's really what we're doing with life. Now, that's what I do with all of the people who are on my live stream is I take and extrapolate some of the wisdom that they have gone through and experienced. So you, if you're going through the same experience, you could get inspired to test your own life's journey and see if it works for you. Because at the end, we are different, but yet we are the same, right? That's so true. All right. So, and oh, don't forget, Dub, ask me about Dub. So they give me a cup and I'm using it. Okay. And I put all my stickers because you know me, I like to customize everything. And look, you can't see it because it's so bright, but it's pink. Okay. Do you see this pink in here? Exactly the same pink because I can't help myself, guys. I pinkify everything. I'm this close to pinkifying my car, and my husband's like, "No, please don't do that to the truck." Then I can't drive. I'm like, "No, you look good in pink, honey." But anyway, that's what's gonna happen. So Dub gave me a shirt, see, and it actually feels really good. So thank you, Dub. I appreciate you, and I am ready to get to know our member, our newest member of our live stream. Yay! Hi, Sam.
Hello. I think you like pink as much as I like purple, you know.
Ooh, yes. You know who likes purple in my supportive sisters is Nick. Nick loves purple. And then Susanna loves pink like me, but she's a butterfly girl. So everything that I can think of a butterfly, like even I got a pen that has a butterfly at the end. Because I always think about Susanna. And then also I usually have stamps on my face, and my husband's like, it's cute. Like I know I'm two, but whatever. It's butterfly and it's purple.
Ah.
And this technically is purple. You might not be able to see because of the camera light, but it's purple. And every time I think about it, I'm like, oh, Susanna's with me. And then, of course, you know, my dear sister Christine, she loves, and her company is about be uniquely you. So I created a pen that actually I'm selling too, that has a bumblebee because I think of my sister Christine when I see that. And Nick doesn't have like an icon other than purple, so I have to figure that one out for sure. But I always think of people and buy things, you know?
Yeah, see, for me, it's dragonflies. I've even got one there. Ooh. See, I don't go for stickers. I go for permanent stickers.
Nice permanent stickers. We should start coloring them. Oh my gosh. First of all, some people don't know who you are, so we're going to start there. But first, tell us your name, where you're located, what time you're in, and then we start with a question.
All right. So my given name is Samantha or Sam. Prefer Sam. Sam Kane. On LinkedIn, if you do know me, then you might know Purple Reset. So either or, I'm good with both. I'm over in the UK. It's now currently pitch black outside because it's 5:15 and it's been dark for the last hour. So yeah, very cold, very dark. Hence the purple lights and keeping myself warm inside.
Awesome. I know. I'm like, Sam, do you have drinks? She's like, yep, I got 2 drinks. We're good. We're ready.
We're all good for drinks.
I know, that's awesome. So down below, folks, that is Sam's LinkedIn. If you can't find her, go ahead and go to her Linktree account, which is that. And so if you know how to type Linktree, just do /purple reset. And we're going to talk a little bit about what that means and what Sam does and why she's here, what's the purpose and what's going on. But the first question that I always ask everyone is think back 20 years ago and find within your timeline some of the significant changes in your life that got you here where you are today.
Oh, that's a question and a half. 20 years. Wow. Okay, so I got married 20 years ago. So my life changed massively then. There's loads. Got married, had 2 stepkids I suddenly had to work out. That was fun. Went off and done a business degree, decided to kind of get into the old corporate, um, and then decided I didn't like corporate. It doesn't suit me. Um, and around, I think it must have been about 8 or 9 years ago, I was in a pretty dark. We were talking about the grey space. I suppose it was the grey space for me. And whilst I used to journal all the time as a kid, I was the kid that had a book to read, a journal, and pens on me always. They were in my go bag. They come with me in the car. They went with me everywhere. I didn't do it for years. Kind of growing up, you find, going out, friends, college, university, all those fun things took over. I stopped journaling. But around 8 or 9 years ago, I picked up my notebook because things were just not how I thought they were supposed to be. I wasn't happy. Work was stressful, mentally taxing. I didn't want to bring that home all the time. It's okay to kind of say, I had a crappy day, don't want to talk about it, but I had to get it out. And then I just got back into journaling and kind of laid it all out. And now I sit here, unbeknown to me back then, it's led to me being on a live stream, which me 5 years ago would never have done. I would have been just an absolute mess. So yeah, there's those key things I think are the ones that have pushed me and nudged me, whether I knew it or not, to where I am now. And now I'm creating journals. I'm in the middle of, I'm coming to the end of my own book. Yeah, and experimenting with book covers for self-publishing authors, and just having fun with the creativity that I had as a kid, but in the last 20 years I lost and refound it.
I love that. And that is so amazing. We just talked about living in the gray and going to
Yeah,
the bright side. And exactly that. Like, wow, you have to be in this anthology coming
yeah.
up soon. You have to. You have to. You can't say no.
Well,
I
when
can't.
you mentioned it, I grew up. I shouldn't tell people my age. I'm 42. I was born in the 80s, and we were kind of. It was kind of laid out for us. You go to school. Over in the UK, you go to college, you do your A levels. After your A levels, you go to university, you get a degree, you leave university, you go straight into the workplace, and you stay in that job because that's what the people before us had done. They found a job, they stayed with the company for, you know, 20, 30, 40 years of their life. And I got into the workforce and I was like, but I want to experience other things. I'm multi-passionate. I love lots of different things, and people are exciting, interesting. The world of psychology fascinates me. And I just wanted to try all of it. But when you're kind of in that structure, it doesn't leave room for fun, kind of trying new things. You finish your workday and you're exhausted. And I found myself in that. I don't want to be exhausted come 5 o'clock. I want to be, well, I didn't know it, but sitting here going, hey, hey world, and hello everyone. This is what I like doing. This is what I like talking about, and maybe it can help you. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And that's why I love finding people who are passionate about what they do because they've gone through some type of adversity to get him or her in this situation. In your case, you're here because of that. I just wanted to do a shout out first of all, okay? So, the very first person who came here, Bobby. But Bobby I've known for about, well, my daughter is 16 now and she was born and she was 2 months old when I played Animal Crossing. I played Animal Crossing. I was an admin on Animal Crossing. I had some group. We had really amazing people. We had some drama, actually. And let me tell you, my UK friends had my back. They're like, when someone talks about something bad and they're like, mate, I'll meet you in some so. I'm like, do you guys know where that is? They're like, it's in the UK, CJ. We got you. And I was like, oh, have fun with that, like, because they were talking so much crap, and I was like, well, how do you guys know where they live? They're like, they put it in here where they go, and I was like, okay. It was a great community. We were strong. We had like 100,000 people playing Animal Crossing. Um, and so I just spoke with her. Gosh, we met in person once when my kids were even littler too. And I said, B, how are you doing? She's like, I'm gonna find you in YouTube. I'm like, thank you. So I wanted to highlight Bobby, and then Dr. New is going to be on my TV show, which I didn't mention to you guys. Wednesdays are my live stream YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and then on Thursday, those are airtime. Those are paid live stream because it is on a TV network of 120 people in that network, and growing. And we're on Roku channel and Amazon Fire and all that good stuff. So we're 25 distribution channels is just my MP3. And then the TV, it's going to be another more distribution channels. So we're taking the world with all of our message, Sam. And so this is great. Now, I want to ask you, what inspired you to develop your idea? Because we're talking about elevating your thinking with offline reflection and journaling. And it wouldn't allow me to put NG in journaling. I was like, oh, well, we get it. But what inspired you to develop that idea? I know you kind of talked about like when I was little, I used to journal. Adulting sucks. We all know adulting sucks. And then you're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to
Oh,
stop and I'm going to create books to inspire people to have critical thinking offline. What can you tell us and walk me through that journey?
So yeah, it was a specific moment. It was back, must have been the beginning of April 2022. So just last year, I was online, kind of writing on LinkedIn, connecting with people, on Twitter, connecting with people, having amazing conversations. And just one day, I sat down at the end of the day, grabbed my notebook, and I started writing everything that happened, because so much happened that my brain hurt. Yeah, I had ideas swimming around, and I was just sat there going, I need to get this out. I need to get this on paper. And I started writing and writing, and I must have had 5 to 8 pages of everything. It was people that others had kind of said, hey, you need to connect with that person. Ideas from a conversation, things that I wanted to research, things that I wanted to write. So content ideas. There was just this abundance of thinking and thoughts, and it was all in my head, and I got it all out, and it was a mess because it was a standard notebook, just lines on a in a book. And I'm like, well, this is a mess. So then it's like, well, I need to organize this. So I went about organizing, pulled all my tasks out, and it took ages. And then I went, there's got to be an easier way to do this. Now, I know people go digital. Now, I was using a digital system, but I didn't want to sit at my computer to do this. I wanted to be away from it. I wanted to be sat quiet in a nice, peaceful situation. So about 2 days later, after this particular evening, it popped up on YouTube, create your own journal. And I was like, ooh, I could do that. And I started to kind of map something out just for me. It was a purely selfish reason. I was like, if I can make a journal that will help me think without being in front of a screen, because I'm in front of the screen from like 7 in the morning till 5 at night, at least, if not longer. I need to step away. That's where I do my best thinking. That's where I really relax. So I want something that can support me to do that. So I built the first book, which I called The Flow. And it was just, I named it because that's what happened to me. It was just flowing, words, ideas, drawings, sketches, everything just flowed out of my head, through my hand, onto the page. And then I was like, but now I've got loads of other ways that my brain works. So on other days, I need a little bit more help to get things done. And digital systems don't work that well for me. They're great as a tool, but if I'm out and about, then it's pointless. So then I was like, well, maybe other people might think like me or want to kind of step away from the screen. And then I just started to just design and develop all these ideas. And then I thought about, well, loads of people make journals and notebooks. There's so many that you can get, but they're all kind of the same. They're lines or they're blank pages. And you get the covers that are generic, have a happy day, love life. And that's not me. And I wanted to create something that for people who like to write, to pick up a pen, sit down with themselves. So whether that is journaling and working through emotions, or whether you're outlining a book or you write lyrics, these are all precious, precious ideas and thoughts. And I wanted to create something, a notebook that was as beautiful as what's in your head, because as messy as it is, I think it's beautiful. You put it on the paper, it's there, it's emptied your brain, so your brain can carry on and do what your brain should be doing, which is, kind of keeping you safe, keeping you focused, and all those things. But to do that, it needs to be uncluttered. So I wanted to create beautiful books that could sit on a shelf with your books that you read, so that it's kind of seamless and beautiful.
I
So
love that.
that's kind of it all come
Yeah.
around.
I'm
And
glad
it's
that
just
you said
snowballed
that.
from there.
Well, see, that's the thing. When you were talking, I'm listening to you and I'm self-reflecting. Like when I was a little girl, I used to collect and barter stationaries from Japan. I grew up in the Philippines and I have families everywhere because we did textile. And I would get imported stuff from Japan. It's Hello Kitty. I haven't grown up. And I actually would say, "Hey, if you can have one piece of Japanese paper if you give me that," like specifically, so we would barter. And then like you said, we kind of stopped, life and happens and blah blah blah. But I would say in the last 10 years, like let me see, my 19, yeah, she was 10. I have to like count backwards because I have a 19-year-old and she was 10, I remember. And I would take them to a show where these ladies actually do creative stuff like journaling and things like that. So I got them into it, hoping that, it's about when I was like 7 when I started. And I said, I think my kids would love doing that. So they do arts and crafts with me and things like that. And I went back to journaling, I would say about 10 years ago. And what I love, and I'm glad that you said that, is I actually went further with journaling. I like to decorate. Yeah, I know. So I would get a matching paper and make, like, if I like Disney, but I also printed a Louis Vuitton on this Disney, created a keychain
Mm.
for my notebook. And so then with my notebook, again, I like Hello Kitty. So, and I also like Louis. So I would get all the Louis stuff, put it in here so I could put cash in here. And then I start my notes. And then all my tabs, like I even make stickers. I know I have stickers, okay, that are Louis Vuitton, like different bags that I own. And it motivates me to actually write in here. And I have stencils because I like to decorate my notes. And of course, stickers galore, right? And if I can't find a sticker that I like, what I do is I would create it make it into my own sticker, and because I like to customize things. I don't know about you, and that's what I think what you've done with your journal. Can you show us one of your journal in there? Let me also go look in Amazon while you're looking at that, because I really want people to see the beauty in what you create. Um, is it under Sam King?
Pebble Reset on Amazon
Oh,
should bring them up.
yeah, and it's just really cool that you have done that, and hopefully it will invigorate someone to do that. This is my other question to you is, how does journaling contribute to promoting offline thinking in a world dominated by digital distractions? We have our phone. Okay, I have two phones, okay? Like I have
Yeah,
three screens here plus two computers that are Windows. I hate Windows, but I have to use them,
yeah,
right, for a teaching. So I have this, it's just everywhere. How do you
it
promote
is.
offline thinking?
It's it's the complete opposite, isn't it? When you pick up, you know, you pick up a journal or a notebook, it's tactile and you feel it. There's something in being able to feel the kind of the book, and the pen actually contributes to your improved memory, improved learning. Believe it or not, the trick is to step away from everything being digital. And like you, I've got phones, I've got, my big screen, I've got my computer, and I love my computer, don't get me wrong. Digital is a tool, and I think there's a change in your mindset when you kind of look at journaling. It's a very personal, introspective thing to do, whether you're doing it for your mind, for your mental health, whether it's because you're focusing on professional development. It is so easy to sit at a computer. You do have to kind of go, I'm going to step away and see it as something different, something on a very, very personal level, because I do think with digital, everything is so easy. And I don't know why picking up a notebook seems to be a little more difficult, because half the time you've got your phone in your hand as well. So,
Yeah. Are these yours, right? These are the ones on
the,
Amazon.
yeah, yes, there should be about
Okay.
24.
I mean, you've been busy, Sam. I want to know. Okay. I'm gonna pick zodiac. I love zodiac signs. I'm a Cancer, by the way.
Okay.
I was born in the 70s. Just saying out there. So I'm gonna pick this one. Talk to me about the process of zodiac life planner. What is happening here? It says goal setting, daily actions, and journaling.
Okay, so Zodiac almost broke me. Out of all the books that I'd done, Zodiac was tough, because, and it was my own fault. I wanted to pack so much into this book. So it's a full 12-month planner, and it walks you through how you construct your vision for the next 12 months. So it covers what your life looks like now, what you want it to look like over the next 12 months. Then you plan. So there's a lot of project management kind of slipped into this one and two others. You map out your goals, you set your targets, and then each day you have 2 pages. And on one page is almost your focus list. So the goals that you set for yourself, you list them out and you work through your day. And then at the end of the day, you've got a page to journal and write about how your day went. Any difficulties you had, what went well, what didn't go well, what information you might have picked up. anything you want, there is an entire page that you can, even if you just want a brain dump. So if you have an overstimulated day, there's a page just for you to get it all out. And that's the purpose of all the journals. So even if there's a productivity journal, so one around actions, kind of habits, goals, task lists, there's always a section for you to reflect on how you done. So I'm weaving journaling into every single book, whether it's focused on your work, goals. Ritual is a habit building journal, but it's one page, and then you just reflect. And I think it's all about that reflective time to kind of sit and think about, how are you doing?
You're
You know,
literally answering my next question, which is, can you elaborate on how journaling facilitates deeper reflection? So you're talking about that. It's funny we're on the same wavelength here. And also, of course, introspection, right? Compared to other forms of
Mhm.
self-expression, because I have a lot of self-expression today. I'm actually looking at two of my wigs. I was like, should I be redhead or should I be pink and blonde totoday? And I was like, I'm just gonna come into CJ. I'm too lazy to put my stuff. Like, I literally have two wigs right now in front of me. I'm gonna show you because that's my
Oh, I
self-reflection.
love it.
See that? I have my blonde and pink because it matches my background,
Yeah.
and I love pink. I've been blonde for 16 years of my life. I have been blonde. And
Oh,
then
me
and the
too.
last, I'd say 2 years maybe, when I became a dean. Apparently, we can't do weird colors and pinks and purples, so I went to whatever my natural hair color is. But I was gonna do red. I was like, "Ooh, red's kind of
Oh,
be
I
on
like
fire,
that. Yeah.
right?"
I used to have a vibrant red curly.
Oh, I
wig.
did too. Ariel
Mm,
red. I had an Ariel red redhead.
yeah.
One of the thing that I opened up is with the famous Stanley from Marvel. We met him. We waited 2 to 4 hours to meet him, but I'm so glad we waited. I'm not a waiting person. I don't like waiting in line. Do not make me. I would pay
Yeah.
someone to wait in line with me. I waited for him, and 3 months later, he died. So I'm so glad that we
Oh
waited
my
for him. I know it was the last time, and he was actually promoting his book. And there were only 200 made in the world, and we wanted to buy his book and have him sign it. And so all four of us, two kids, my two kids, and my husband and myself, have four out of the 200 books that he has in the very last. And so it's precious to us,
I was gonna
when we're
say
doing that.
that's
I'm going
yes.
to buy one of your journals and just to see what's going on. I'm like, you have a lot in here. And I'm glad that you have 6 months planner because some people can't do 1 year. I love doing one
Yeah.
year. Um, and
It
honestly, guys, it's good to do reflection on 1 year because then you can reflect if you have pivoted and changed. And
mm,
it's actually good for your brain to kind of um, not necessarily brain dump, but more like, what is my mission this year? And if it has
mm,
changed, it's okay, and then go from there. So thank you for sharing
yeah.
that.
Actually, at the end of so there's Zodiac is the 12-month. You've got Trifecta, which is a 3-month, and then Riven is a 6-month.
6 months.
And
Yep.
at the end of each of those books, I have prompts. So end of the period, so end of the year, end of the 6 months, end of the 3 months, questions for you to go back and reflect on your journey throughout that time, and then a few questions to pull through to the next year. So it's one of those cyclical, you finish a journal and then you work through the questions, you reflect on what you've done, you plan for the next 3, 6, 12 months, and you just kind of keep going. So it's a continual
I love
process.
that. Yeah, I love the self-reflection because we do. And it comes to self-expression, no one, well, hopefully no one can see your journal. Some of my journals actually have a key, like a lock key. When I was going through my doctorate program, it took me longer because I had cancer in between, but like I had a key and lock and key and I lost the key, so I had to break my journal. And I was like, "Oh my god," but it's like beautiful leather. I'm like, I gotta know what I wrote in there, you know, in my darkest moments trying
Yeah,
to finish college at that time, and I'm still in college. But when I looking at it and my handwriting towards the end when I was super sick, I could tell it was not coherent. Like I don't even know what language it was, quite honestly, at that time. And I speak quite a bit of different languages, and I was like, "What language did I wrote this in?" And it's funny when you look at your journal, and the some of them makes me cry, and some of them gives me a
yeah,
smile. It's a beautiful thing when you're doing that, and you don't have to
yeah,
say, "Wait, where did I put that? Where did I save that? I don't remember if it was on a floppy disk or a USB or in Google Drive." Like
yeah,
because you have that, right? Floppy
yeah.
disk. I know it's pretty old,
Yeah,
but
no, absolutely. It's funny you mentioned the handwriting. Um, I've noticed that when you journal, you can go pick a day, go back, and you can almost feel the emotion because of how your handwriting is. So I found the more you write and the more naturally, and when you kind of, you don't focus on it being perfect all the time, or you're not worried about your spelling, you don't care if your words run to an entire like page with no full stops, it doesn't matter. But when I look back, I can read something, and even if it's a positive entry, I can kind of go, I think I was a bit off that day because my handwriting is different.
hmm
And on that particular day that kicked all this off, when I look at that, my handwriting is just, it's a mess. And it reflected the absolute chaos in my brain. And I love seeing that. I think it's fantastic. It's like, wow, I was really excited about that. That
yeah.
idea or that concept or that conversation I had with that person. I was really excited because I cannot read my own writing.
Ah,
So there
no,
must have been,
something.
emotion comes
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, now that you're saying that, I had a journal during my journey about my when I first gave birth to my daughter. I had postpartum depression after that, but I had so much complications. Like I almost died on the table. It was not good. And I even said I told my husband if I live through this, I'm not having another baby. We're gonna just have an only child group because he's an only child. I'm an only child. I'm like, this child's gonna be an only child. And so after 3 years, we decided to have, another one. Um, but it was funny when you say that because when I was looking at the my journal, in the hospital when I was going through, I think I had time and I could see some of my tears coming down on my notes because it kind of spreads the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm the type that likes to put pictures in, and I take pictures everywhere. And my husband, my dad, everyone complains like, "Oh my god, you take so much pictures." But now that the kids are older and you see the reflection, they're like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad you took pictures." I'm like, "Shut up right now. For years you told me you're so annoying to take pictures," right? It's the same thing with journaling. When I see my handwriting, and you're right, my daughter even read some of it and she was crying. She's like, "Mom, that seems so painful." I'm like, "It was literally." And then
Um,
after that you could see that when I felt happy, it was pretty. And I even put stickers on some I'm a sticker girl. I put stickers in my journal, and she's like, "Mom, it seems like you got kind of out of your depression." I was like, "Yeah, that's just for a day." And then the next day you'll see something else again, right?
yeah. And do you know what? Everything that you've described there, sharing your journal, and I mean, it's optional whether you share your journal with
Yeah.
someone else, but for your children to see that kind of process and for them to experience what you experienced in your words and with the tears and everything that goes with it, that's really precious, it's special, and it's something you wouldn't have had with a digital option. You said about having that book signed. You wouldn't have had that on a digital system. a digital tool. If you had a PDF copy of a book, no one's signing that. And that's what's really quite special when it comes to any form of physical book, whether it's something you wrote, whether it's a journal that you write in. There's things that, as much as I love technology can't replicate.
No. And this is my second to the last question. I can't believe we're almost to the end. We're having a great conversation, I thought. How can journaling be a gateway to mindfulness and present moment awareness, allowing us as individuals to step away from the digital noise?
So this is where it all gets a bit sciencey with your brain. So when you handwrite, there's different areas of your brain. Yeah. I can't name them all off the top of my head because my brain don't work like that. But there's all these different areas of your brain. And they all kick in when you pick up a pen. They don't if you type. So if you really want to connect with your emotions, your feelings, to gain that mindfulness, you do have to step away from the computer, I'm afraid. Because when you do, specifically your memory, so you can start writing, your brain will kick in, and it doesn't matter what you're writing, it'll bring in past memories and it will fuel your current writing. You'll be able to work through it a lot deeper than you would if you were just sat typing and kind of trying to reflect whilst using both your hands to type, because the areas of your brain aren't firing that enable you to dig deep and create the mindfulness. Then you add on top of the fact that you've emptied your brain, that causes a sense of calmness, mindfulness. You might go through some things that are uncomfortable. And like you said earlier, you could be upset. You need to get that out. And once it's out, you can start processing it. You can start to become more mindful, more intentional about your days. You build emotional resilience because you're working through, say, a situation that maybe you kind of kicked off. You had a negative reaction. And when you're journaling with a pen and paper, you work through that. You become very honest with yourself because you've made peace that this is your practice. And that all helps fuel the overall kind of thing that we're all looking for, which is a little bit of quietness. The digital world, as beautiful as it is incredibly noisy. Very, very noisy. And because it's easy, your brain will naturally go, I'll do that because it's easy. But yeah, if you can take the step to start journaling and then you compound it every day, and we're talking 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day will do what it needs to do. And I've always found that once you start writing, you write more. So the more you write, the more you will write.
I can't
That
agree more.
3, yeah, the
Yeah.
3, say you start off with 3 minutes. I'm going to take 3 minutes to empty my brain before I go to bed because it helps you sleep. It does. That those 3 minutes will turn into 5. And then in a couple of weeks, you're on to 8 minutes of journaling. And the more you do it, you'll start to get quite addicted because the feelings that you get afterwards, that sense of peace, the sense of calm, the tranquility that you feel when you put your head down and your brain is pretty much clear, will it'll snowball.
I love that you said that. I'm gonna ask you Ollie's question in a minute, but now I just remembered, and I wish I kept all of my notebooks. It's in a different language, but I was an only child. Well, not was, still is. Not that I know of. Um, right? I was like, that I know of. And basically, I write. My best friend was my notebook, my Hello Kitty notebook. I remember from Japan. It was so soft paper. I had a Hello Kitty pen. I always like to match everything. And I was writing in a different language, our native tongue, and old Latin is what my first language was because my grandma and her family's from Spain, and that's what she spoke, and she's the one who raised me. So I speak Old Latin, and then of course the Filipino Bisayan, which is a dialect, not even the main language, and then our main language is Tagalog. So right off the bat, and then Chinese, we got four different languages in our brain bouncing around, right? And that's how we walk. We walk away with that. And I was the only one who doesn't know Chinese because I didn't go to Chinese school, so my Chinese was even broken in my Chinese family. But I remember that with every time I would have a good day or a bad day, like really high good day and a bad day, I would write it on my notebook. And I felt like my notebook was my best friend. It
Yeah.
was my best friend because it knew every single feeling, emotions that I have. And I was so scared my grandma would find it because I wrote in there I remember that I had a crush and we weren't allowed to have crushes. And I had a crush. I was like, I'm gonna be dead. I'm gonna be dead. I don't know why I wrote it. I'm gonna be dead. He was so cute. That's what I just like. Um, and it's really amazing that that brought back memories for me. So I wanted to add that. But Ollie brought up a really good question,
Mhm.
which is, what do you think about audio journaling?
Yeah, I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm for journaling in whatever method suits you. Um, I will always say handwriting over everything, but if I knew someone who was like, well, to process my thoughts, I need to be outside walking. I said, well, get your phone. You have your phone on you. Just record and talk, and that was great. So, yeah, go for it. Try it. If that's what helps you achieve what you need, then absolutely love it. I've tried voice notes. I don't achieve the same level that I do when I handwrite. It's very much handwriting is very much my thing. That's what works for me. But it if you want to type your journal, if you want to do voice notes or keep an audio journal, absolutely do it, because anything you do to empty your brain is gonna be beneficial.
Yeah, and I love that idea. Now, my last question for today, Sam. If this is your last day today on this earth, what would be your parting message to your current and future families in terms of living life, legacy, and impact?
That's deep. That's deep. I have no idea. You've really put me on the spot with that, Swan. My last day. It's been emotional. Would be the first thing. It's been emotional. Now, be yourself. Be creative. Even if you don't think you are creative, you are. Sketch, draw, paint. Do all the fun things in life. Never put anything off. Um, yeah. Yeah, life's long, life's short, life's hard. So inject as much fun, love, and happiness into every single moment that you can, is what I would say.
I love that. I know it's
That's
deep,
horrible.
but here's the thing.
Yeah,
I've
that
had
is a deep question.
Yeah, I had cousins that died from a car accident, right? And they
Mm,
never get a chance to even say thank you to her mom or dad. Sometimes life takes us that way, and we don't think
mm,
about these things. And these are my prompt for my people that I ask, because then you're going to be like, huh, if it is my last day today, what really would I be parting with? And this this conversation is forever hold in the YouTube land.
It is. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that question, and I'm going to, so I write a letter to my granddaughter, which I seal, and she will have a box of letters on like her 18th birthday or something. I'm going to put something, I'm going to have a little letter specifically around this because I think it's important to
It
think
is.
about. And yeah, you've given me pause to think and actually put something in writing to my little granddaughter.
Oh, how old is
A
she?
little bit of advice, life advice. Oh God, coming up a year and a half. She's a
Wow.
baby.
Oh. Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually wanted to I don't know if you guys know there's this small bottle that I saw at Michael's. We have a Michael's here, like a little store for crafting. And you know those movie like letter on the bottle, like you put a letter, you throw it in the ocean and hopefully someone
Yeah.
handsome, tall, dark and handsome would get it and someday you'd be married, like all those things. I'm actually
Mm.
thinking of I thought about it in my crafting ladies because I teach at Michael's on how to do create swag for your business. Anyhow, we had this little bottle that I saw and I said if when I have grandkids, I'm gonna write a simple saying like how you go to Chinese restaurant. I don't know if the UK has it, but we have like a fortune cookie and then there's like a little message that you get. I wanted to
Yeah.
do that fortune cookie idea, but in a bottle, like a letter bottle. But I bought Japanese paper, really soft, really amazing arts in the front. And it's almost like morekami, which is beautiful, bright, paper. And then in the back is blank. So I'm going to write it in small letters, like, the date they were born and all that, and put it on a bottle. And I'll put their names so that when I'm gone, they could open the bottle with the letter.
Yeah.
That
I think it's
that was my
lovely.
yeah, letter on the bottle from their grandmother who's crazy, but like yeah, I'm I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it.
But yeah, I think there's something really quite beautiful in seeing, your grandmother or your ancestors' handwriting.
Hmm.
I mean, the way we're going, there could be a day where you don't know what someone's handwriting looks like. To
Hmm.
me, that's like,
Yeah.
it's
Did
like my
did you know?
handwriting's precious.
Yeah, did you know that Babe Ruth, I don't know if you know who Babe Ruth is. He's an American baseball player back in like the days, right? His signature, that's it. Just signature
Mm.
is gonna be sold for about between 30 to $70,000. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So think about that.
And
And
it's
all
only
of the
gonna,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
So someday, Sam, your signature
yeah.
would be that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah, you never know. And there's a lot
it
of
is.
fake out there. There's a lot of fake out there for that and
Mm.
all the people that sign pieces, right? So I think back of that. But thank you guys so much for watching us today. Thank you for taking your time right now, Sam, to be with me and to be with our people in
No,
LinkedIn. Yeah. Bye
it's
everybody.
been an
Thank you,
absolute
Sam.
pleasure. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Hold on for me in the room. I will be right there, okay? All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. This was such a great conversation. It brought back so many things in my childhood that I didn't even think about. But I am definitely buying one of Sam's. I got to figure out which one that like gives me that vibration, right? She has a lot, guys. So this one right here in her link tree, it's called Purple Reset, and she has pretty much everything. You want to book a session with her, you want to go to her Amazon bookshelf in the US and the UK. She has her own YouTube channel. She has Twitter or X. And then she's also on Medium, obviously on LinkedIn in there as well, and Pinterest, and she has her own website. So please visit Sam. Tell them CJ sent you and see what you guys can do. It's a beautiful thing to take a pause for a minute in your life and stay offline and just self reflect. Like imagine yourself in your yard drinking coffee, listening to the birds chirping. The wind blows in your face, and you're writing that and capturing that moment in your journal. You can't take that back. It could be a different time the next day. I'm just saying, self reflection. Well, thank you guys so much for your time today. I appreciate you. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will have my sister, Dr. New, and we will be talking about mindful communication. And if you want to watch us on TV, we're also on Roku channel, Amazon. Just download E360 TV app and you will find us on there. So this is going to be our show tomorrow. Okay. And have fun as always. And oh, if you are on LinkedIn, I cannot highlight your comments on my TV show. TV network runs on a different network, not through StreamYard, and it can only be shown on YouTube. So join me on YouTube tomorrow so I can show your participation, ask as many questions as possible. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a fantastic Wednesday. And as usual, let's dance it off for Wednesday.